सेशन 2 सेशन 2 में जो रश्मि यादव की पीपीटी है ना, वो टेक्निकल सेशन 2 में है, उसमें एक स्लाइड में ऑडियो चाहिए। सेशन 2 एक बार इनॉग्रल वाला भी एक बार प्ले करके देख लो। इनॉग्रल वाली वीडियो प्ले करके देख लो, उसको रेडी कर चारों स्क्रीन पे।
अच्छा, कल का तो ऐसे डाउट में होगा कि ये शाम तक खत्म होगी।
कर्टन रिजर्व दोनों सारी स्क्रीन पे प्ले।
ये खड़े हैं देख, ये जो ग्लास इनको बोल रहे हैं, इनको पता है सारी वो कर रहे हैं
नीचे इनको बता दिया,
मैं देती हूँ, रुका जा। हाँ
को बता दिया, नीचे यूट्यूब पे लिंक डाल देंगे।
वो फिर दोनों दिन ही करती है।
भाई कहाँ है?
Check, sound check, audio check, test 1 2, audio check, sound check, 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 audio check, check, audio check, sound check.
बस यार अर्जुन
आप चेक नहीं कर रहे थे, मेरे को चेक कर। सौरभ, सौरभ सुन, ये यहाँ पे जज 2 है और
हाँ सर, हेलो, हाँ हमारी टीम तो आ गई। वॉल्यूम What I'll do is I'll read the older one, right?
Yes. Yeah, delete this one. And you take on the key. This one.
Okay. This is perfect, right?
Yeah. Give it the name you want.
It'll be
That's
easy
your
for it'll be
business.
easy for you, yeah. This is your pen drive. I'll just play it once.
Yeah, sure. Good.
Done? Alright, thanks.
मैं सिर्फ 14 ईयर के ही थे तब उस टाइम में बोला कि हाँ हम मतलब तुझे हमारे घर की बहू बनाना चाहते हैं
আমাদের গ্রামের মাঠে ফুটবল খেলতো বললাম যে আমরা ফুটবল খেলবো দাদারা বললো যে না তোরা খেলবি কেনে ছেলেদের খেলে তোর মেয়েরা খেলবি কেনে
Every child deserves to reach their full potential, but gender inequalities in their lives and in the lives of those who care for them hinder this reality. For girls in particular, violence against them leaves a deep and lasting impact on their health and well-being, affecting future generations. Today, 1 in 4 girls is still married as a child. While significant progress has been made to reduce the national prevalence of child marriage by 50% in the last 15 years, targeted efforts are needed to reach vulnerable
Sir, good
communities and prevent child marriage. National initiatives like Mission Vatsalya and Mission Shakti, including Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, BBBP, promote coordinated action plans to prevent early child marriage and empower adolescents. Evidence-based state and district plans ensure interdepartmental convergence to deliver preventive services for at-risk girls. For any program to make an impact, it needs to involve every member of the community. Programs like BBBP, along with empowering girls, also engage men and boys to challenge harmful gender norms and promote gender equality.
We are engaging both boys and girls to ensuring their rights. So that is why we set up, namely Bandhu Mall, a group of boys club in all secondary and higher secondary schools. And also we are monitoring a review weekly basis or monthly basis in all the Gram
ठीक है रुक जा देख सेशन 1 ये तीनों है स्वाति को दिया सर अच्छा बैक स्टेज तो कैसे करेंगे ओके ओके सर वो बैक स्टेज रखा है किसी को अनाउंस करेंगे ना
एक बार आप ऑडिटोरियम के अंदर कैमरा किससे कनेक्ट कराऊँ उनको सो दैट शी कैन बी इनसाइड उसमें
गोल में दे दूँगा इसमें गोल चल रहा है ठीक है
आप ईश्वर पे अपना नंबर भेज दो आई कैन कनेक्ट डायरेक्टली इजी ऑलरेडी हो आप व्हाट डज ही लुक लाइक गिव मी रिसेप्शन ऑफ दैट
सर अनुपम सर
इसको तो अभी हटता है
दिस इज हाउ टू गो
अच्छा ओके आई जस्ट सॉरी मैं पीछे से ये 5 है
जैसे वो क्लिक करेंगे वीडियो वीडियो
ये जो थर्ड वाला है ये किधर है?
फर्स्ट पर्सन को जो भी फर्स्ट जो भी रहेंगे
ये जो थर्ड वाला तुम डाला है ये वाला है क्या?
रश्मि महेश
तो इसमें नाम लिखना है रश्मि महेश, कंफ्यूज क्यों कर रहा है?
भाई ये लास्ट था तभी तो नाम डाला। रुक जाओ, निगोल चाइल्ड ऑल ठीक है, रश्मि महेश।
और ये सारी पीपीटी फॉर्मेट में ही है ना, पीडीएफ तो नहीं?
ये तो पीडीएफ है। अरे ये पीडीएफ में आई है तो उसमें क्या कर सकता है, दिस इज पीडीएफ ओनली ना।
तो ये क्रोम में चलाएगा, इसी में चलाएगा?
इसी में चला देंगे, कोई नहीं, फुल स्क्रीन तो करनी है। ठीक
दूसरे
है, ये
डालो, सेशन 2
टिक 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 कर ले।
कर दिया मैंने, 3 कर दिया,
सेशन वन
सेशन
पे।
1 के 3 है।
ठीक है, सेशन 2 में आ जाओ। अनंत प्रभु और रश्मि यादव।
who is in control of the like this display, like as in the
कंट्रोल रूम में बताओ।
so ask them like where the sign language interpreter, like if is Tejinder there, like so I'll have to connect with him like in order to make sure that the sign language interpreter is always included in the frame.
कहाँ पे खड़े होगा
तो वही पूछना है ना उनसे।
आप बताओ, हम तो
तो एक डेमो कर लेते हैं।
तेंद्र सर
I'll just call him.
एक बार पोडियम का प्रीसेट देना। पोडियम का प्रीसेट रश्मि यादव हो गया। टैक्सेशन और सुन, टैक्सेशन 2 में रश्मि यादव की जो है इसमें ना एक स्लाइड में ऑडियो भी है। हाँ, एक स्लाइड वो ऊपर से वहाँ से कनेक्ट करेगा, एक स्लाइड में ऑडियो भी है। ठीक है,
पीपीटी में ऑडियो नहीं चलेगी?
चलेगी, कल तो टेस्ट करिए, देख लेंगे। ठीक है, एक ऑडियो कर दे।
So yeah, she's already here.
ओके,
Like
एक डेमो करा लो ना, एक डेमो करा लो।
पोडियम का प्रीसेट वेयर वी विल बी स्टैंडिंग हियर। ठीक है, सेशन 3 में आ जाओ। ये ना ट्रांसलेटर है, साइन लैंग्वेज इंटरप्रेटर है, तो इनको भी इंक्लूड करना है पोडियम में, मतलब इस व्यू में पोडियम के साथ इनको भी इंक्लूड करना है।
मतलब जब भी फ्रेम होगा अगर कोई पोडियम पे नहीं है तो भी
आप बताओ मेरे को, फिर इनको मैं इनकी पोजीशनिंग करता हूँ। पहले एक बार प्रीसेट फाइनल कर लो, फिर इनका पोजीशनिंग कर लेंगे ना। ये इसमें उड़ीसा
ये जो वीडियो है इसमें
हाँ,
उड़ीसा में इधर से चलेगा, उधर से चलेगा।
ठीक है, इनको इंक्लूड करना है। एक पीएम नायर आशीष मोदी, उसके बाद उड़ीसा की एक वीडियो है। ठीक है, ये वीडियो प्ले होगी, ये ऊपर से प्ले होगी, फिर शीशु मित्रा, ये हरमीत सिंह और
यहाँ से वीडियो कोई
चारों से नई वीडियो ऊपर से प्ले होगी।
पीपीटी खोल के दिखा दे मुझे सारी।
खुले इसमें है
ये बीम तो नहीं
मैम।
है
देखो
पे।
देखो ये पोडियम व्यू रहेगा, लेकिन अगर आप
नहीं, this is true zoom in.
दिस इज पोडियम व्यू, बट ये साइन लैंग्वेज इंटरप्रेटर थ्रू आउट द एंटायर प्रोग्राम ना, इनको हटाना पीछे से।
Zoom out a bit more, yeah.
कर रहे हैं। ये साइन लैंग्वेज इंटरप्रेटर को ना फोकस में लेना है।
ठीक है, I think all of us are different heights. So
क्या?
that's also
Okay, that will happen with this.
one of them.
ये यहीं पे आप मुझे बताओ ना, लेफ्ट राइट वो इनको मैं कर दूंगा यहाँ पे। आगे जाओ। और जाओ,
Yeah,
और
but I
आगे
was
जाओ।
in the audience. We were standing right here.
Here only.
पोडियम के पास आ जाओ, पोडियम के हाँ, बस
इतना पास नहीं आ
I think that is like way too close.
That's too close.
और
थोड़ा ऐसा हाथ करना.
लेफ्ट नहीं, लेफ्ट ज़्यादा पोडियम के क्लोज हो रहा है ना। राइट।
पूरा हाथ करना है.
परफेक्ट है ना।
आप ठीक.
ठीक है, थोड़ा सा पीछे भी कर सकते हैं, थोड़ा सा पीछे भी कर सकते हैं, थोड़ा सा पीछे मैम, थोड़ा सा पीछे बस। ठीक है, इसका एक बार प्रीसेट चेक कर लो।
Should I put a mark here then? ठीक है, हो गया ना? Now she can go there.
कैन यू स्ट्रेच योर हैंड्स? ठीक है,
Same.
थोड़ा सा और पीछे करना मैम, पैर ठीक है, अब थोड़ा सा जूम करो, अब थोड़ा सा जूम करो।
I remember it being the same only.
It was in the frame.
हाँ
But when the
अच्छा,
panel is going on, how is that?
एक मिनट, आप पहले अपना सेट करो, आप अपना सेट करो, आप नीचे करो ना। हाँ, अब मैं कट रहा हूँ, अब मैं कट रहा हूँ, ये देखो, थोड़ा जूम आउट करो, थोड़ा सा जूम आउट करो फिर। थोड़ा सा आउट करो, बस 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 बस। ठीक है, अब आप कह रहे हो इनका पैर नहीं आना चाहिए, आएगा, कुछ नहीं कर सकते। मैम थोड़ा सा आगे आगे हो ना, आगे हो ना, थोड़ा सा और आगे, और आगे। मैम पोडियम से थोड़ा सा पीछे आओ, फिर पीछे आओ, ठीक है, ठीक है, ये आ रहा है ना। लेकिन फिर ये मैम भी तो आ रही है, आप थोड़ा सा इनको इनको हटा दो ना कर्टन्स, क्योंकि कर्टन से पीछे। मैम आपको कैमरे की तरफ टिल्ट होना है, देखो सामने कैमरा, थोड़ा सा जस्ट ट्विस्ट ट्विस्ट, ऐसे मुड़ो, ऐसे करके मुड़ो, ऐसे करके मुड़ो, ऐसे करके मुड़ो, बस। ठीक है, इसकी पोडियम की पोजीशन जो है ना मैडम, पोडियम की पोजीशन वैसे उस तरीके से, ठीक है, ठीक है, फाइनल कर दो फिर प्रीसेट। ओके, आपके हाथ वगैरह एक बार स्ट्रेच करके देख लो, ठीक है, हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा ना। यहाँ पे मार्क कर देते हैं, दिखाना कहाँ पे, आप कहाँ पे खड़े हो, ये लो। ठीक है, ठीक है, आपका लेफ्ट लेग अब हवा से ही उड़ गया तो आई एम नॉट पर ध्यान रखना आप थोड़ा सा। कोई नहीं, देखो वहाँ पे ना सामने जो कैमरा व्यू आएगा ना, आप अपना आप एडजस्ट कर लेना, ठीक है, यू जस्ट हैव टू बी इन द फोकस, ठीक है, ठीक है, तेरी प्लीज
देखो ये पीछे चल तो नहीं रहा। सुन, और इसमें पीपीटी का वो है,
ये बता दिया।
स्लाइड शो व्यू कर रहा है तू किसी का?
हाँ सर,
तो
बात सर आ गए।
इस वाले मोड पे चलाएगा डुप्लीकेट स्लाइड शो, और किसी को नोट्स हुए तो वो कैसे देखेंगे? पूछ लिया तूने?
बोलेंगे तो उसको प्रेजेंटर भी दे देंगे। तेरे पास है ना वो एजेंडा, फर्स्ट सेशन की तीनों है,
कुछ चेंज तो नहीं हुआ ना?
नोटिस कैसे अपलोड करेंगे?
device you do use? Short film I'll announce. I'll just say I request that the film be $3 schedule as well as revised.
I request everyone to be kindly seated, and I again request everyone to kindly put their phones on silent mode.
Mic is working properly. I don't have to increase it.
and other dignitaries have arrived at the venue and shall be joining us very shortly. I request everyone to be kindly seated and keep the phones on silent mode.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Honorable Juvenile Justice Committee of the Supreme Court of India, we warmly welcome all of you to the inaugural session of the National Annual Stakeholders Consultation on Safeguarding the Girl Child towards a safer and enabling environment for her in India. Today's event is the culmination of deliberations which took place at state levels under the aegis of the respective high courts. It is a sort of grand finale to the countless meetings that took place to chalk out strategies to remove vulnerabilities faced by young girls, as well as to create a conducive habitat which would foster their growth and development. We are honored by the gracious presence of Honorable Justice Bhushan Ramakrishna Gawai, the Honorable the Chief Justice of India. We also warmly welcome the Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, Srimati Annapurna Devi, Honorable Mrs. Justice B.V. Nagarathna, Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee and Judge, Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Justice J.B. Pardiwala, Member, Juvenile Justice Committee and Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Ms. Cynthia McCaffrey, UNICEF Country Representative to India. On occasions like these, welcoming dignitaries by giving them mementos is a tradition. To continue to honor this tradition, may I request Ms. Rachna Srivastav, Secretary, JJC, Patna High Court, to kindly present a memento to Honorable the Chief Justice of India. May I request Ms. Anindita Sarki, Member Secretary, JJC, High Court of Meghalaya, to present a memento to the Honorable Minister, Srimati Annapurna Devi. I request Ms. Seema Datta, Secretary, JJC, High Court of Tripura, to present a memento to Honorable Mrs. Justice B.V. Nagarathna. I request Ms. Mau Chatterjee, Secretary, JJC, Calcutta High Court, to kindly present a memento to Honorable Mr. Justice J.B. Pardiwala. I request Sri A.T. Wankhade, Secretary, JJC, Bombay High Court, to present a memento to Ms. Cynthia McCaffrey. It is the stellar leadership and guidance of the Honorable Juvenile Justice Committee of the Supreme Court that has made it possible for all of us to be here together on this auspicious morning. We are privileged to have amidst us Honorable Mrs. Justice B.V. Nagaratna, who is heading the JJC. Honorable Ma'am has been the epitome of what can be termed as compassionate judging. Through a verdict of hers, she removed the associated stigma attached by ordaining that there may be illegitimate parents, but no illegitimate children. It is my honor to invite Honorable Ma'am to address this august gathering.
Namaskar and a very good morning to each one of you. Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Shri B.R. Gawai, Honorable Shri Justice Pardiwala, Member Juvenile Justice Committee, Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, Government of India, Srimati Annapurna Devi, my distinguished colleagues of the Supreme Court, Ms. Cynthia McCaffrey, Country Representative, UNICEF India, Honorable Judges of the High Courts, who are chairpersons and members of the Juvenile Justice and POCSO committees of various High Courts, secretaries and officers from various ministries, Government of India and state governments, member secretaries, conveners of Juvenile Justice Committees of the High Courts, representatives of the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, NCPCR, and state commissions for protection of child rights, directors of judicial academies, presiding officers of POCSO courts, learned Secretary General and learned registrars of the Supreme Court, representatives of the team UNICEF in India, esteemed panelists and experts, distinguished invitees, members from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly heartening to see such an array of legal luminaries and experts gathered here today on October 11th, the International Day of the Girl Child, with a shared commitment to saving the girl child. I welcome all the dignitaries present here on behalf of the Juvenile Justice Committee of the Supreme Court of India. I thank Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Sri Gawai, for readily agreeing to inaugurate this important national consultation, despite his extremely busy schedule, and share his thoughts on the theme of this consultation. This demonstrates his concern for the welfare of the girl child. Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, Government of India, Srimati Annapurna Devi, is present with us to grace the occasion and to share her valuable thoughts. I welcome all dignitaries and delegates and distinguished panelists to have kindly consented to provide their insights in the various technical sessions which are to take place over the next 2 days. I am confident that the discourse that will take place in the various sessions will address the multiple, multifaceted, nuanced, and interlinked set of challenges that continue to plague the girl child in India today. A young girl in India can be said to be a truly equal citizen only when she can freely aspire to do anything that her male counterpart does and receive the same quality of support and resources to do so, facing no barriers specific to her because of her gender. Put differently, the odds of her being born at all, having access to the right nutrition, care, education, and material resources, a secure and safe environment, developing a distinct sense of self, and being able to achieve whatever she sets her mind to, has to be equivalent to that of a boy child born in this country. She should not merely survive, but actively thrive. The first barrier that a girl child in India faces is being born at all. Will she be born at all? It is altogether an unfortunate trope that most of us are familiar with, where a family eagerly awaits news of the birth of a child, are somewhat disappointed at best and even dismayed at worst upon hearing the child is a girl. The child sex ratio of 0 to 6 years in India has only seen marginal improvement, going up from 914 girls per 1,000 boys in 2011 census to 929 girls per 1,000 boys in the National Family Health Survey 5. There are also recent concerning reports of worsening sex ratio caused by likely female infanticide or feticide in certain states. Many other states, however, have seen improvements in the sex ratios. Next, access to quality nutrition as a critical facet to the girl child's growth and development is important. Without adequate nourishment, all other measures undertaken to uplift the girl child may be at naught. Malnutrition, especially in the early years of a girl's life, may go on to determine her health and quality of life for many decades. According to the National Family Health Survey, there are statistics that 59% of the girls aged 15 to 19 years are found to be anemic. It is often the case that girl children are deliberately fed lesser or lower quality food than their brothers, while schemes such as the midday meal scheme, the Anemia Mukt Bharat program, and the Poshan Abhiyan have made several strides in ensuring access to quality nutrition for young girl children. It is important that these cascading and deleterious effects of early years malnutrition on the girl child's ability to be physically active, think, and problem solve be sufficiently publicized. A related requirement to access to quality nutrition is also access to exercise, play, and games. The next issue is that of child marriage in India. In this regard, it is extremely commendable that as per successive National Family Health Surveys, the prevalence of child marriage has steadily declined from 47% in 2005-06 to 27% in 2015-16 to 23% in 2019-21. Thus, over the course of the last 15 years, a combination of policy efforts and community engagement have led to an almost halving of the rate of child marriage in India. Through the enactment of laws such as the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 and in accordance with India's international obligations under the UN Convention, both state and union governments, occasionally with the collaboration of UNICEF, have undertaken several positive steps in this regard. The need of the hour is to adopt holistic solutions that are adequately tailored to regional peculiarities so as to ensure that interventions undertaken are most effective. There is a famous adage that reads, "You educate a girl, you educate a nation." I often think what I would have become if I had not attended school or college. Quality education functions as the fulcrum not only for the empowerment of the girl child, but also for the prosperity of the nation. For India to one day become a global superpower that aspires to be, it must ensure that the young girls of today are sufficiently supported to become the women of the future that will shape the trajectory of the country. There are several dropouts from school. What are the reasons why young girls drop out from school? The girl child may be expected to sacrifice her education in its entirety or study a course that is not very interested in so as to ensure that her brother is able to pursue his dreams. It is crucial that such virulent factors are adequately addressed. But I must say that there is a jump in the number of students studying in the secondary level from 56 to 77%, but in the higher secondary level, there are great dropouts. Education thus being provided must be free of stereotypes, of bias and ideology, and must be able to mold the individual who undergoes it to become an upstanding member of society. Violence against the girl child may take many forms, including physical, emotional, psychological, and sexual violence. It is alarming to note that with the advent of digital technologies, novel ways in which such violence may be perpetrated against young girls are ever evolving. It is widely acknowledged that most perpetrators in the form of violence are known to the child victim. The consequences of violence and neglect are lifelong. In fact, it is stated that there are statistics that in the 15 to 29 age group, there are many suicides amongst the girls. These represent shattered childhoods, broken families, and lost potential. Both the judiciary and law enforcement agencies play a pivotal role in handling cases of violence against girl children. We must expand trauma-informed and child-sensitive procedures in our courts and police stations. In the name of an inquiry or a court proceeding, a child victim must not be re-traumatized or face secondary trauma. We must also strengthen monitoring of the implementation of the various acts, but wherein the justice is not only swift but also sensitive and tailored to the best interest of the concerned child. I do not wish to take time to go into the statistics with regard to what is called human trafficking and particularly the trafficking of girl children. But I would only say that the statistics reveal that out of 10,659 cases of human trafficking between the years 2018 and 2022, only 4.8% of individuals arrested were convicted. It is also necessary to remind ourselves that if there is a delay in the payment of victim compensation at the interim stage, there will be vulnerability of the girl child and also leading to hostile depositions. I would be remiss to not acknowledge many of the milestones that have been achieved in the past decade. There have been a nationwide expansion of juvenile justice boards, child welfare committees, district child protection units, and special juvenile police units, ensuring that statutory frameworks are functioning across the country. Most districts in the country have child-friendly POCSO courts. Legal aid clinics and paralegal volunteers are extending access to justice to children, including those in childcare institutions. The policy ecosystem too has grown stronger. Initiatives like Mission Vatsalya, Mission Shakti, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao program, the Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram, and the Poshan Abhiyan have provided a robust foundation. The Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign, now in the 10th year, aims at shifting community perceptions of the value of the girl child and driving localized and multi-sectoral district action plans to prevent child marriage and promote adolescent empowerment. This national consultation is a culmination of the efforts carried out at both the union and state levels over many years by various stakeholders. I see this consultation as more than just a meeting. It is a platform for commitment. It is an opportunity to reflect on what has been achieved, to confront what still hinders us, and to agree on the concrete steps that will carry us forward. On this occasion, I would like to remind myself of the 9th round of the National Annual Stakeholders Consultation on Child Protection. Many of you in the audience here have come last year also, which was in September 2024 on protecting the rights of children living with disability and intersectionality of disabilities. Across India, states are making important strides towards disability inclusive protection services. I will only cite a few examples since the detailed report is awaited. In Odisha, a statewide disability survey is being launched to identify and track children with disabilities, including those in childcare institutions, with counselors trained across all districts and art-based therapy integrated for trauma-informed care. Uttar Pradesh is reaching children through weekly screening and certification camps, linking them to assistive devices and support services. Manipur has expanded inclusive education through residential special schools, resource rooms, and home-based learning, while Chhattisgarh has strengthened multi-departmental efforts and extended its disability pension scheme for children. For want of time, I would not make more examples, but many states are working towards the inclusivity in the area of disability pursuant to the last year's consultation. Together, these initiatives reflect India's commitment to building a protection system that is inclusive, responsive, and grounded in dignity for every child. Let us begin this consultation with resolve. Every act of prevention, every system of protection, every service that responds to a child in need breaks a cycle of harm and creates a pathway for girls to thrive. Thank you for your patience. Namaskar.
Thank you, Honorable Ma'am. Ms. Cynthia McCaffrey is the UNICEF country representative to India. She has championed the cause of children and women for decades now. She joined the UNICEF in 2001 and has been mobilizing support for UNICEF ever since. She had once remarked, and I quote, "I look forward to building on UNICEF's strong partnership with the Government of India and working together across India to advance the rights of every child." I request Ms. McCaffrey to render her introductory remarks.
Excellencies, honorable justices, respected colleagues across all disciplines and states, distinguished guests, friends, namaskar. It is truly on behalf of UNICEF an honor to join you at this national stakeholders consultation on safeguarding the girl child towards a safer and enabling environment for her in India under the leadership of the Supreme Court's Juvenile Justice Committee. UNICEF is particularly proud of this partnership as we mark 10 years of this convening, coming together with juvenile justice consultations across honorable Supreme Courts and Justice and High Courts. And I just want to take a moment to pause as we'll build on the progress and the strides that India has made, but also to mark, as our honorable chairperson of the Justice Juvenile Committee said, what an auspicious day to be here talking about the girl child on International Day of the Girl Child. And that brings me to my first point, and building on what you said, ma'am, is that we have a strong foundation. We have a lot of progress on which to build. Over this past decade, as we've heard, we've seen tangible actions like juvenile justice boards, child welfare committees, district child protection units, special juvenile police units in nearly every district in India, the special POCSO courts, many designed to be child-friendly, are helping children when they need it to access justice with dignity. And these flagship programs that the government of India has given us enables us to have change at scale. Mission Vatsalya, Mission Shakti, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, as we heard, they've laid foundations that can go to scale. And we're looking at data. We're not afraid to look at the data because we've seen progress. As the Honorable Justice just said, we've seen a decline of almost 50% between 2005 and 2006, and we continue to build on that for child marriage. These are numbers, and the UN, like many of you, likes to quote numbers, but behind these are real stories. In Madhya Pradesh, we have adolescent clubs that are equipping girls and boys with life skills. In Telangana, we have Bharosa centers that is offering survivors of violence integrated legal, medical, and psychosocial care that allows them not just to recover, but really heal and live forward. Adolescent collectives in Odisha are part of the Advocate program that are successfully negotiating with families to delay marriages. In Jharkhand, we have beautiful examples of young reporters who are being given the skills but the confidence to tell stories about child marriage and how to prevent them. And in Rajasthan, community groups are challenging deep-rooted social norms that we heard about and helping to keep girls in school. These are just some of the tangible examples that are reaching real lives, real families, real people. And that is progress for India. it is also powerful examples for the world. As India makes progress, we make progress toward the global sustainable development goals so that girls across the world will have these opportunities. So if we have so much progress, why are we still here? And it's because we still have so many challenges. And that, I thank you, ma'am, for helping to think, how do we look at those challenges? Looking at young Rukmini from a rural community in Gujarat. After class 9, her parents pulled her out of school because they were genuinely fearful that she didn't have safe transport, reliable transport to school. But through Kishori Sabna, a program that enabled her to see and talk with peers, she got help from teachers, her peers, from the local authorities, and they were able to talk to her family and get her back into school. She's not only in school learning, but she's now a mentor for other girls. So these programs work, and they go to scale and reach real people. But she reminds us, as we've also heard, that violence in everyday spaces are often from those who are closest to the child. That's a challenge, but knowing that helps us to think about the responses we build. Secondary school dropout rates are still too high. So how do we look at that? And the dropout rates are often linked and lead to child marriage. Digital access. We're getting a lot of data about the opportunities it grows, but also the risks it brings. How do we know and address those issues? And harmful gender norms, as we've heard, grip a young girl from the beginning of life and then have incredible hurdles and harms as she grows to become a part of society. In India, still 1 in 4 girls are married before the age of 18. So how do we address that and identify that and move forward? And that's my third point. What is the way forward? What are the things that we pay attention to? First and foremost is information, data. Know the data. And you all know this better. Know your brief. And so as we look at data around the progress and the challenges that are still there around that come out from national family and health surveys, how do we look at that and use that to address? Looking at data that comes from the National Crime and Records Bureau that talks about that often sexual violence against children is from someone known to them. That enables us to prepare families, children, young people, and caregivers. Which leads me to the second way forward. Prevention is paramount. How do we make sure that we focus on prevention? By investing in parenting programs, building safe schools and the systems in safe schools, by empowering and educating adolescents to be aware and ready and to identify where they see challenging, dangerous situations. The third is having and building survivor-centered services. Every child survival must have access to immediate, sensitive, medical, psychosocial, legal support. I met Asha, a 14-year-old girl from Uttar Pradesh, and when she had to go to a one-stop center, she was understandably scared and unsure of what to expect. What helped her to calm down was a trained counselor, a doctor aware of child-sensitive protocols, and skilled police officers. An assigned person helped her to access these services and kept her and her family informed every step of the way. And that is what survivor-centered services look like, not just procedures and systems, but have the humanity and the compassion that a young person needs, not just to get the services, but to begin to heal. Fourth is having that justice with dignity. I can say with confidence that UNICEF believes the last thing a child should need is a lawyer or to see the inside of a courtroom. But when she needs it, she needs trauma-informed procedures, fast tracking of cases, and ensuring that support for people, that people who are helping her make sure that justice is swift and sensitive. Fifth, don't just engage with adolescents for them, but with them, by equipping them with life skills, helping them to understand and be ready for the transitions from middle school to high school, from learning to earning. I met Rekha in an adolescent center which was working with peer networks. She was on the edge of dropping out of school for pressure from her family, economic pressure at home. But through this, she was not only given the confidence to think about staying in school, but she was given skills around communication, financial literacy. And most importantly, with those skills, she was given confidence to stay in school and now to mentor other adolescents of the choices that they have. And finally, and most important, and why we're here and why we've been coming here for 10 years, is it takes every single one of us. It requires us across national level, state, district level, but across all disciplines, police, legal systems, medical systems, for us to come together to make sure that we build that safe platform for young people to know what their choices are, how to make sure that they're protected. We say that all the time, come together, convergence. So let me just leave you with this picture. A fire ant, when an emergency hits, a flood, for example, will sink alone within minutes. But when a colony of ants comes together and bands together, they build a life raft that floats for weeks, often months, with very little effort. So as I look out at this room and at the convening that this is, I see a colony of experts that band together to build those safe life rafts that build safe pathways for every girl, no matter where she is or where she comes from. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Today's event is also propitious due to the presence of Honorable Justice J.B. Pardiwala amidst us. His recent verdict on child trafficking is truly historic and a boon for posterity, for it would pave the way to ensure protection of all children right from the time they take their first breath, and simultaneously allay the trepidation faced by a parent in a hospital at the time of delivery of a baby. It is a sheer honor to request Honorable Sir to please release the handbook and to address this august gathering.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It is an honor and privilege for me to be here with you all today at this National Annual Stakeholders Consultation on a very sensitive topic, safeguarding the girl child. Well, we all are here today to discuss how best you can safeguard the girl child. Look at the topic. Protecting the girl child means ensuring that every girl has the right to live, learn, and grow with equality, free from harm, discrimination, and violence such as female fiticide and child marriage. It involves providing equal access to education, healthcare, and resources, promoting her value in families, society, and empowering her to make informed choices and reach her full potential as a respected individual and contributing member of the community. I am grateful to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to introduce the handbook on child rights and the law, prepared by the Center for Research and Planning, Supreme Court of India, under the guidance of the Juvenile Justice Committee. The handbook provides a comprehensive overview of the child rights protection and juvenile justice framework. In 1 minute, let me give you all a fair idea. This handbook is divided into 7 parts. Part 1 introduces the definition of a child and its legal significance. Parts 2 and 3, respectively, explore the national and international jurisprudential perspectives. Part 4 outlines the key statutory frameworks and their overlaps, while Part 5 examines the comparative practices from other jurisdictions. Part 6 focuses on the implementation, highlighting the roles of administrative mechanisms, legal services authorities, social audits, and judicial oversight. Finally, Part 7 addresses contemporary challenges, including cybercrimes, mental health concerns, and persistent enforcement gaps. Together, these sections provide a comprehensive understanding of child's rights and the challenges associated with securing them. On this International Day of the Girl Child and the National Annual Stakeholders Consultation, let us therefore renew our commitment not only to uphold the law, but also to nurture a culture of respect, equality, and care. Let us carry this spirit into our work so that the promise of safety and opportunity for every girl is not just an aspiration, but a reality. I hope the deliberations over these 2 days are meaningful, constructive, and help build stronger parts to strengthen our collective resolve and provide practical pathways forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Sir. You all may view the handbook by scanning the QR code which is there in the tags attached with your bags. I request you to kindly do so after the inaugural session. You can also see the revised schedule in the tag. We now invite you to watch a short film titled Safeguarding Childhoods, Empowering Girls. I request that the film be kindly played on the screen.
मैं सिर्फ 14 ईयर के ही थे तब उस टाइम में बोला कि हाँ हम मतलब तुझे हमारे घर की बहू बनाना चाहते हैं।
আমাদের গ্রামের মাঠে ফুটবল খেলতো বললাম যে আমরা ফুটবল খেলবো দাদারা বললো যে না তোরা খেলবি কেনে ছেলেদের খেলে তোর মেয়েরা খেলবি কেনে
Every child deserves to reach their full potential, but gender inequalities in their lives and in the lives of those who care for them hinder this reality. For girls in particular, violence against them leaves a deep and lasting impact on their health and well-being, affecting future generations. Today, 1 in 4 girls is still married as a child. While significant progress has been made to reduce the national prevalence of child marriage by 50% in the last 15 years, targeted efforts are needed to reach vulnerable communities and prevent child marriage. National initiatives like Mission Vatsalya and Mission Shakti, including Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, BBBP, promote coordinated action plans to prevent early child marriage and empower adolescents. Evidence-based state and district plans ensure interdepartmental convergence to deliver preventive services for at-risk girls. For any program to make an impact, it needs to involve every member of the community. Programs like BBBP, along with empowering girls, also engage men and boys to challenge harmful gender norms and promote gender equality.
We are engaging both boys and girls to ensuring their rights. So that is why we set up, namely Bandhumal, a group of boys club in all secondary and higher secondary schools. And also we are monitoring, we are review weekly base or monthly base in all the Gram Panchayat level, block level and district level.
As an essential strategy, the formation of adolescent boys groups and the involvement of local panchayats have been encouraged to help build empathy, consent and bystander action. While rural areas rely on close-knit community structures to address child protection, in urban settings, the challenges of migration, density and anonymity require different approaches to end violence against children and child marriage. The real test lies in bridging law and lived reality. Through timely action, a sensitive community and trained police and social workers, moments of crisis can become moments of safety and justice.
എൻ്റെ 17ാമത്തെ വയസ്സ് മുതലാണ് ഞാൻ ഈ കാവലിൽ ഉൾപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാനൊരു കേസിൻ്റെ പരമായിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി ഈ CWCയിൽ വരുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്കൊരു റിലേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അത് സംബന്ധിച്ച് ഞാൻ പിന്നെ പ്രഗ്നൻ്റ് ആയി. പിന്നെ എൻ്റെ വീട്ടുകാരെവിടെയാണെന്നോ ഒന്നും എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ലായിരുന്നു. എൻ്റെ അമ്മയും അച്ഛനും അവരൊന്നും കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാനൊന്നും പറ്റാണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ വളരെ വളരെ ഒരു വല്ലാത്തൊരു മാനസികാവസ്ഥയിലായിരുന്നു ഞാൻ കടന്നു പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്.
Kaval brings together government and civil society in a powerful network of committed individuals and institutions.
നിയമവുമായി പൊരുത്തപ്പെടാത്ത കുട്ടികളുടെ മേഖലയിൽ അവരുടെ ഒരു സൈക്കോസോഷ്യൽ സപ്പോർട്ട് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് വഴി അവരിലൊരു മാറ്റം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ പദ്ധതിയുടെ ആത്യന്തികമായ ലക്ഷ്യം.
Through Kaval, the relapse rate for children in conflict with the law has decreased from 25% in 2015 to 3.8%. With this success, it has now also expanded to support children who have been victims of sexual abuse. Justice goes beyond prevention and also involves ensuring timely and assured services to women and girls who have survived violence.
Yeah, actually I was scared and nobody was with me. I was alone. My stepfather started who's being rude too. My mother also was not there with me. So I have told my class teacher. Then she called childline 109. Then afterwards, the support persons and everyone at there, they came to my school. They inquired about me and they took me to Bharosa.
In 2016, we were struggling with getting children, particularly victims of child sexual abuse, to open up. And we were struggling with convincing their parents to come and report in the police station or the Bharosa Center.
The Bharosa Center in Hyderabad stands as an integrated one-stop center for women and children affected by violence. Here, support comes under one roof, with access to police assistance, medical care, legal and prosecution services, and psychotherapeutic counseling. The center also provides relief and rehabilitation tailored to each individual's needs. Guided by a victim-centered approach, Bharosa ensures that every survivor receives holistic care, compassion, and justice, all in one place. Every child deserves a fair chance at life, especially girls. The future of girls is safe when they can make their own choices, access the right services and information, and grow up in homes, schools, and communities that are equal and free from violence, so they can reach their full potential.
मैं नहीं करना चाहती है. घर करेंगे तो मैं बोलूँगी मेरे को नहीं करना, क्योंकि मेरे को जॉब करनी है, पढ़ाई करनी है, मतलब लाइफ में सक्सेसफुल बनना है. इसीलिए नहीं करनी शादी, मतलब खुद की पसंद से करनी.
as we could discern, this film succinctly portrays and vividly brings to life the voices of adolescents, their dreams, their fears, their aspirations, while highlighting inspiring examples of how state governments, civil society organizations, and experts are working together to prevent gender-based violence and child marriages and to create safer, empowering spaces for every girl to thrive. Today, we are fortunate to have on the dais Mrs. Annapurna Devi, Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, Government of India. She has spearheaded initiatives towards promoting digital access to learning for women, workplace safety through the She Box portal, and improved childcare and nutrition under the Poshan Abhiyan. Her commitment towards protection of children was amply demonstrated at the launch of Bal Vivah Mukt Bharat campaign, wherein she emphatically underscored that practices such as child marriages hinder the potential growth of girl child. May I request the Honorable Minister to render her remarks.
नमस्कार। आज इस महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया के जुवेनाइल जस्टिस कमेटी और यूनिसेफ इंडिया द्वारा आयोजित इस नेशनल एनुअल कंसल्टेशन में उपस्थित भारत के माननीय मुख्य न्यायाधीश श्री भूषण रामकृष्ण गवई जी, जे कमेटी की चेयरपर्सन माननीय श्रीमती बी नागरत्ना जी, माननीय न्यायमूर्ति जे पारदीवाला जी, मेंबर जे कमेटी, यूनिसेफ इंडिया के कंट्री रिप्रेजेंटेटिव सिंथिया मैककैफ्री जी, सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स, स्टेट कमीशंस के सम्मानित प्रतिनिधिगण, विशिष्ट अतिथिगण, नीति निर्माता और देश भर से जुड़े हमारे समर्पित अधिकारीगण का हार्दिक अभिनंदन है। आज जब हम बालिकाओं की सुरक्षा, भारत में उनके लिए एक सुरक्षित और सक्षम वातावरण की ओर जैसे अत्यंत संवेदनशील और दूरगामी विषय पर विचार विमर्श के लिए एकत्र हुए हैं, तो यह केवल एक पॉलिसी डिस्कशन नहीं, यह हमारे राष्ट्र के भविष्य, हमारी सामाजिक चेतना और हमारी नैतिक जिम्मेदारी का जीवंत प्रतीक है, जिसमें हर बालिका के सुरक्षित, सशक्त और सम्मानित जीवन का संकल्प शामिल है। जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि आज विश्व भर में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बालिका दिवस भी मनाया जा रहा है और ये एक सुखद संयोग है कि आज के दिन महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर चर्चा भी हो रही है और आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बालिका दिवस भी है। तो इस अवसर पर यह संवाद विशेष रूप से सार्थक है क्योंकि यह इस वर्ष की थीम से जुड़कर हमें याद दिलाता है कि हमारी बेटियां केवल सहायता की अपेक्षा करने वाली नहीं, बल्कि बदलाव की वाहक है, जो हर संकट की घड़ी में समाज को संभालने की क्षमता रखती है। हम इस अवसर पर उस शक्ति, उस संभावना और उस प्रेरणा को नमन करते हैं जो हर बालिका के भीतर जन्म से ही बसती है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के विकसित भारत 2047 के संकल्प में नारी शक्ति को केंद्र में रखा गया है। इस कंसल्टेशन के माध्यम से हम उसी दृष्टि को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं ताकि भारत की हर बेटी विश्वास से भरे भविष्य की ओर कदम बढ़ाते हुए अपने सपनों को उड़ान दे सके। हम सभी ये मानते हैं कि प्रत्येक बच्चे को सुरक्षित और बचपन का पूरा आनंद लेने का अधिकार है और जब बात बालिकाओं की हो तो यह अधिकार केवल सुरक्षा तक सीमित नहीं रह जाता, यह उनके सम्मान, अवसर और आत्मविश्वास से भी जुड़ा होता है। आज इस विशेष अवसर पर चाइल्ड राइट्स एंड द लॉ विषय पर तैयार की गई हैंडबुक भविष्य में बच्चों के अधिकारों को सुरक्षित करने की दिशा में एक गाइडलाइन की तरह मदद करेगा। देश भर के सभी बच्चों की ओर से इस उपहार के लिए हार्दिक आभार। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत ने बालिकाओं की सुरक्षा और सशक्तिकरण के लिए एक लाइफ साइकिल अप्रोच को अपनाया है। हमारी सरकार की हर योजना में, हमारी हर पहल में महिला सशक्तिकरण सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है और इसी सोच से प्रेरित होकर हमने मिशन वात्सल्य, मिशन शक्ति और मिशन पोषण 2.0 जैसे इंटीग्रेटेड प्रोग्राम्स के माध्यम से सुरक्षा, सशक्तिकरण और पोषण को एक ही सूत्र में पिरोया है। पिछले एक दशक में भारत ने चाइल्ड राइट्स प्रोटेक्शन के क्षेत्र में जो कदम उठाए हैं वे अब विश्व के लिए एक मॉडल बनते जा रहे हैं। महिला एवं बाल विकास विभाग द्वारा संचालित मिशन शक्ति आज सुरक्षा, सम्मान और सशक्तिकरण का प्रतीक बन गया है। इस मिशन के 2 स्तंभ हैं, संबल महिला सुरक्षा के लिए और सामर्थ्य उनकी आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए। महिलाओं की सुरक्षा के लिए हमारे मंत्रालय ने निर्भया फंड की स्थापना की, जिससे आज देश भर में 854 वन स्टॉप सेंटर कार्यरत है, जो हिंसा से प्रभावित महिलाओं और बालिकाओं को शेल्टर, काउंसलिंग, मेडिकल एड और लीगल सपोर्ट भी प्रदान करता है। पुलिस स्टेशनों में वुमेन हेल्प डेस्क स्थापित किए गए हैं और जिनका नेतृत्व भी ज़्यादातर महिलाएं कर रही हैं। वुमेन हेल्पलाइन 181 24/7 आपातकालीन और सहायता सेवाएं प्रदान कर रही है। सामर्थ्य के तहत प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना, महिला सशक्तिकरण केंद्र, शक्ति सदन और वर्किंग वुमेन हॉस्टल जैसी पहलें बेटियों को आत्मनिर्भरता की दिशा में आगे बढ़ा रही है। बेटियों के मजबूत भविष्य को लक्ष्य बनाकर उनके लिए डिजिटल और फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी, सेल्फ डिफेंस ट्रेनिंग और लाइफ स्किल एजुकेशन को बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है, ताकि वे आने वाले समय की आत्मविश्वासी, जागरूक और सक्षम महिलाएं बन सके। भारत सरकार ने मिशन वात्सल्य के माध्यम से बच्चों की देखभाल, संरक्षण और पुनर्वास के लिए एक इंटीग्रेटेड डिजिटल सिस्टम विकसित की है, जिससे पारदर्शिता बढ़ी है। जीपीएस बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी, ट्रैक चाइल्ड पोर्टल और केयरिंग सिस्टम के एकीकरण से किसी भी बच्चे की स्थिति पर रियल टाइम ट्रैकिंग संभव हुई है। सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात, मिशन अब इंस्टीट्यूशनल केयर से अधिक फैमिली बेस्ड केयर पर जोर दे रहा है, ताकि हर बचपन को एक स्नेह भरा और सुरक्षित वातावरण मिल सके। और मुझे ये बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि 24-25 में भारत में कानूनी रूप से गोद लिए हुए बच्चों में 56 यानी 56% बालिकाएं हैं। ये बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ अभियान का असर है कि समाज की सोच बदल रही है। अब समाज बेटी को बोझ नहीं बल्कि उम्मीदों का उजाला भी मान रही है। जेजे एक्ट, पॉक्सो एक्ट, चाइल्ड मैरिज प्रोहिबिशन एक्ट और राइट टू एजुकेशन एक्ट हमारे बच्चों के लिए मजबूत सुरक्षा चक्र है। एनसीपीसीआर, फास्ट ट्रैक स्पेशल कोर्ट, जेजेबीज, सीडब्ल्यूसी और डीसीपीयूज सभी का एक ही लक्ष्य है, हर बच्चे के लिए सुरक्षा, न्याय और समान अवसर सुनिश्चित हो सके। बाल अपराध के प्रति कठोर दंड का प्रावधान करते हुए हमने जीरो टॉलरेंस और पॉलिसी को अपनाया है। आज चुनौतियां बदल रही है। साइबर बुलिंग, ऑनलाइन ग्रूमिंग और डिजिटल ट्रैफिकिंग जैसी समस्याएं हमारे सामने खड़ी है। जहाँ बेटियों को देवी की तरह पूजा जाता है, वहाँ उनके प्रति कुछ अमानवीय घटनाएं सभ्य समाज के लिए कलंक भी बन रही है। भारत सरकार द्वारा स्कूल सेफ्टी फ्रेमवर्क और ऑनलाइन सेफ्टी गाइडलाइंस के माध्यम से बालिका सुरक्षा पर विशेष प्रशिक्षण, स्कूल आधारित जागरूकता कार्यक्रम चलाए जा रहे हैं, जिनमें मेंटल हेल्थ और साइको सोशल सपोर्ट भी शामिल है, ताकि हर बच्चा न केवल सुरक्षित बल्कि मानसिक रूप से स्वस्थ और सशक्त बने। हम स्वयंसेवी संगठनों और सामाजिक क्षेत्र में काम करने वाले सभी साथियों से साथ मिलकर एक बालिका केंद्रित सामाजिक जन आंदोलन खड़ा कर रहे हैं और इस कंसल्टेशन में राज्यों द्वारा अपनी बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को भी शेयर किया जाएगा, जिससे हमें एक नई सोच के साथ आगे बढ़ने की प्रेरणा भी मिलेंगी। आज का यह संवाद हमारी उसी प्रतिबद्धता का हिस्सा है जिसमें हर बेटी को भयमुक्त जीवन, समान अवसर और गरिमामय अस्तित्व देना शामिल है। आइए हम सब मिलकर एक ऐसा राष्ट्र बनाएं जहां बेटियों का सम्मान नीति नहीं बल्कि संस्कृति बन जाए। माननीय न्यायमूर्ति भूषण रामकृष्ण गवई जी, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया के प्रति मैं विशेष रूप से आभार व्यक्त करती हूं, जिनकी गरिमामय उपस्थिति और अनुभवपूर्ण वक्तव्य से हम सबको मार्गदर्शन मिलेगा। इसी विश्वास के साथ इस कंसल्टेशन के सफल आयोजन के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया की जुवेनाइल जस्टिस कमेटी और यूनिसेफ इंडिया की समर्पित टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई। सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स को 2047 विकसित भारत निर्माण में बेटियों की सुरक्षा, सम्मान और भागीदारी के संकल्प को सिद्धि तक पहुंचाने के लिए हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you, ma'am. The Commander-in-Chief of our Judicial Army, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Justice Bhushan Ramkrishna Gawai, has consistently exemplified deep and abiding commitment to humanitarianism and towards discharge of constitutional duty. Be it profound and heartfelt acts like distribution of material, including books to children, or providing legal aid and succor in Manipur, or by delivering verdicts, his approach invariably emphasizes and prioritizes the best interest of the child and of the vulnerable lot. His verdicts, without exception, personify and uphold the tenets and true spirit of the Constitution of India. It is my honor and privilege to request Honorable Sir to kindly deliver the inaugural address.
Srimati Annapurna Devi ji, the Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development, Government of India, my esteemed sister, Justice P.V. Nagaratna, the Judge Supreme Court of India and Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, my esteemed colleague, Justice J.B. Pardiwala, my colleagues in the audience, Justice Anjaria, Justice Aradhe and Justice Pancholi, Mrs. Jasmine Pardiwala, all my esteemed brothers and sisters from different high courts, the esteemed members of the district judiciary, the senior officials of the Government of India and state governments, the child rights activists, the Registrar Generals, and the members of the Supreme Court Registry, and distinguished participants. It is a privilege to address this distinguished gathering at the National Annual Stakeholders Consultation on Safeguarding the Girl Child. I am delighted to see this collective of judicial minds, government representatives, child rights advocates, and development partners coming together with a shared purpose. That is to reflect on how far we have come and how far we must go in ensuring that every girl child is truly empowered. Consultations such as this are expression of a nation's conscience and its continuing moral commitment to its children. For if the collective conscience of a nation is measured by how it treats its most vulnerable, then the strength and destiny of that nation are inextricably linked to the well-being and empowerment of its daughters. Yet, we must ask ourselves, what does it truly mean for a society to claim that its children, especially the girl children, are safe? Can safety exist where dignity is denied, voices are silenced, or dreams are constrained by circumstances? These questions lie at the very heart of our constitutional culture and the responsibilities we bear to every child. It is precisely to confront these questions that this consultation serves as an important forum for reflection, a space to reaffirm our collective constitutional conscience. It invites us to examine whether our efforts have succeeded in translating protection into genuine empowerment, and whether our society enables every girl to be seen, heard, and valued. To answer these questions, we must look to our constitutional history. From the Constituent Assembly debates to the progressive expansion of fundamental rights, we see that a nation advances when every historically marginalized section of society finds both recognition and representation in its journey of growth. The Constitution provides specific safeguards. In this regard, Article 15(3) permits the state to make special provisions for women and children. This provision was adopted because the framers of the Constitution were concerned about the exploitation of childhood through child labor, lack of education, poor health, and material deprivation. By Article 15(3), they sought to preserve the state's authority to enact welfare, protective, and special treatment laws for children as well as for women. Without the carve-out in Article 15(3), measures such as child labor restrictions or juvenile justice protections could have been challenged as discriminatory. Children were and remain particularly vulnerable, especially in the context of labor and industrial employment. The Constituent Assembly thus recognized the state's duty to provide education, nutrition, and health care for children. Furthermore, the preamble's commitment to justice, equality, and fraternity, read together with Article 14, 15, 3, 21, and 39, places a solemn obligation on the state and every public institution to prevent harm and at the same time actively create conditions in which the girl child can flourish. The protection and empowerment of the girl child, therefore, is an essential element of the Constitution's transformative vision. Safeguarding a girl child in this context means nurturing her voice, curiosity, ambitions, and sense of self-worth. It means ensuring she can learn without fear, dream without limitation, and participate fully in the life of a community and nation. When our laws, policies, and institutions create these conditions, they not only protect an individual girl, but uphold the very promise of our republic. Over the decades, India has responded by enacting multiple legislative measures aimed at protecting and promoting the development of children, particularly girls, including the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. Complementing these legal frameworks, the executive has formulated policies and programs designed to uplift and socially empower the girl child, reflecting a sustained commitment to gender-sensitive development. Yet, despite these constitutional and legal guarantees, many girls across India continue to be tragically denied their fundamental rights and even basic necessities for survival. This vulnerability exposes them to disproportionately high risks of sexual abuse, exploitation, and harmful practices such as female genital mutilation, malnutrition, sex-selective abortions, trafficking, and child marriage against their will. This demands a deeper examination of the social, economic, and cultural barriers that continue to impede the girls' lives. Furthermore, in today's technological era, where innovation defines progress, it is important to recognize that technology, though empowering, also brings new vulnerabilities especially for the girl child. The threats faced by young girls are no longer confined to physical spaces. They extend into the vast and often unregulated digital world. From online harassment, cyberbullying, and digital stalking, to the misuse of personal data and deepfake imagery, the challenges have evolved in both scale and sophistication. I also want to highlight the issue of intersectional discrimination. A girl who is both in a marginalized caste and living with a disability may face compounded disadvantages and multiple layers of societal discrimination. We must pay attention to these nuances. Our institutions, policy frameworks, and enforcement authorities must therefore be attuned to the realities of our times. Training programs for police officers, educators, health professionals, and local administrators should consequently incorporate a sensitive approach, equipping them to respond with empathy, nuance, and contextual understanding. Laws addressing online sexual exploitation, digital trafficking, and cyber harassment must be paired with effective enforcement, education, and awareness initiatives. Protecting the girl child must become a core priority of digital governance, ensuring that technological progress is accompanied by ethical safeguards. As we advance into a digital future, technology must serve as a tool for liberation rather than exploitation. Safeguarding the girl child today means securing her future in classrooms, workplaces, and on every screen that she encounters. Equally important is the mission to protect and empower the girl child in fostering widespread public awareness about the rights, the protections, and welfare schemes already established for children, particularly girls and juvenile in distress. Too often, well-meaning citizens, upon encountering a trafficked, abandoned, or abused girl, simply do not know what exactly they can do. This lack of awareness limits the effectiveness of existing frameworks and delays timely care and rehabilitation for the affected child. Thus, there is an urgent need for comprehensive campaigns to educate citizens on responding to child labor, begging, sexual exploitation, trafficking, and other abuses. Awareness programs must reach rural communities, schools, and local self-governments, empowering the citizens to act knowledgeably and responsibly. Our efforts must reach every corner of the country and should not be limited to only the national capital. In this context, the consultation is crucial. It addresses a wide range of issues, including the functioning of the PCPNDT Act, education, child labor, the POSCO Act, child marriage, and gaps in the implementation of various laws relating to the girl child. It is comprehensive discussion on the rights of all children, and I congratulate the organizers for conceptualizing this program. I thank the Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development for her presence here today. While the judiciary can play a role in reforming the rights and ensuring accountabilities, the primary responsibility for implementing these rights rests with the executive. In protecting the rights of children, especially girls, and executive plays the most crucial role, as they are the primary stakeholders in these issues. I acknowledge the role of the Juvenile Justice Committee, ably headed by my esteemed sister, Justice Nagaratna and Justice Pardiwala. Their guidance and efforts have been invaluable. In fact, I must thank my learned sister for giving me an opportunity to be here. In fact, I was to travel out of India today to address an international conference, but she issued a mandamus and I had to abide by it. And I chose to speak on an international conference through an online mode. I appreciate the efforts of the UNICEF India for always extending necessary support to our institutions in our shared goal to give a better future to our children. In conclusion, I am reminded of Rabindranath Tagore's timeless poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear, that captures the very essence of what we seek to achieve in safeguarding the girl child. He dreamt of a nation where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, Where knowledge is free, that vision remains incomplete so long as any girl in our country lives in fear. Fear of violence, fear of discrimination, or of being denied the chance to learn and to dream. To secure her safety is not merely to protect her body, but to free her spirit. To create a society where she can hold her head high in dignity, and where her aspirations are nourished by education and equality. Tagore's warning against the dreary desert sand of dead habits reminds us that we must confront and overcome the deep-rooted patriarchal customs that continue to deny girls their rightful place. Only when every girl child grows in an environment of freedom and respect can we say with conviction that our nation has awakened into that heaven of freedom of which Tagore so beautifully spoke. Coincidentally, today is the International Girls' Child Day. The theme of this year's Child Day is empowering girls for a bright future. Let us all collectively work in that direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Sir, for always guiding us and for always inspiring us. May I request the honorable dignitaries on the dais to kindly join us for a group photograph.
I request the honorable dignitaries on the dais to kindly join the audience for the group photograph. I request our esteemed guests to kindly rise and come closer. The guests on the flanks kindly occupy the spaces on the center. I request all our esteemed guests to kindly come closer and to occupy the spaces in the center.
बोलना कुछ अनाउंस करना क्या कुछ
बोलना तो था
अनाउंस करना है
हाँ टी ब्रेक के लिए Is it on? On होगा।
All our esteemed guests are kindly requested to proceed for the tea break. Refreshments have been arranged on both 3rd and the 5th floor foyer for all our invitees.